Mirrorballs, islands, retina scans, the car, the Riviera, formation displays. What does it all mean? And more importantly, why are we seeing these themes appearing again and again in the run-up to AM7? Well, we can't know for certain, but I do have a theory that hopefully will get you all thinking. So in this video, I'll be breaking down the lyrics of the two songs that we've heard so far from the album, I'd Better Be a Mirrorball and I Ain't Quite Where I Think I Am, as well as the music video for Mirrorball 2, in which I think there is definitely a lot more going on than I think most people realise. Let's get into it. So let's begin with what we know for sure. We know that this album will sound cinematic. We've heard this from Alex himself in a recent interview, and we've already gotten a flavour of this vibe from the use of strings on the song Mirrorball, but the real clues for me are in the music video. The chosen aesthetic for most of this music video is black and white grainy film, which obviously gives the video a movie-like feel. There also looks to be cinematic imagery on the song I Ain't Quite Where I Think I Am, with the line "Freaky keyboard by the retina scan, I've got good reason to believe I ain't quite where I think I am." It sounds from that lyric that he's describing some sort of contraption that you'd expect a Bond villain to have. You wake up in a freaky lab without any recollection of getting there. But there's way more in this music video that I think a lot of people haven't given a second thought to. And it's to do with that theme of surveillance that I mentioned in my previous video. Link up here if you want to learn more. I'm well excited for this next theory. Let's get into it. So just to recap, if you cast your minds back to that previous video that I made around my theory on what AM7 will be about, I talked about how there were several clues in Arctic Monkeys' new stage design that they're using on the European tour right now that suggest a surveillance theme, an all-seeing eye, Big Brother is watching kind of vibe. Well, from the two songs that we've heard from this album so far, there are clues that corroborate this theme of surveillance. Let's take a closer look at the music video for Mirrorball. So the video starts with multiple displays, all showing what looks to be the same film. Now this could be trying to resemble the outer structure of a mirror ball. In fact, it kind of looks a little bit like the fragmented reflections a mirror ball would give you. But notice how the camera zooms in into one particular screen, and how shortly after the film turns black and white. It's almost as if a clip's been selected from the range and it's now playing back a past memoir or a past dream. So my immediate thought, I guess, was instead of a mirror ball, could this instead be trying to resemble CCTV screens in formation, like a modern day panopticon, like you'd see in an old James Bond film, or in the labs in Stranger Things, for example, where they have eyes on everything. And these displays are seen once again at the end of the video, where we see the camera zoom out and the other screens come into view again, maybe signalling the end of that clip. However, something I don't think many people have noticed here. The film, as the camera zooms out, actually stops and reverses as if someone is rewinding the footage. And it gives quite a creepy, almost sinister feel, as if a villain is rewinding to rewatch something. Who could this person be? Well, pay close attention to the first 30 odd seconds of the music video, when those James Bond type piano stabs come in after the long strings intro. Alex is looking down, still looking down, still looking down, still looking down, and then he looks directly into the camera. Now, in the world of cinema, this is known as breaking the fourth wall. In simple terms, Alex, as the main character, acknowledges that the audience is watching him, i.e. us, the fans. Now, I can't help but think of the lyrics, "Dance as if somebody's watching," because they are from the song She Looks Like Fun off Tranquility Base. So if we link this concept now to the screens in formation that we also see at the start of the video, it almost gives the feel of Alex, the main character, being in the room with us watching this film. Now, when we're in this sort of past film or past memory, the film was in black and white, but for a split second it goes back into colour. Now, this clip on screen here looks like a viewing room, like we're in the audience watching the clip on a projector. And it's in colour because it's the present day. Now, to add to this, when you read the lyrics for the second song, I Ain't Quite Where I Think I Am, this is when things start to get really interesting. Take the lyric in the song, "Formation displays of affection fly over." Formation displays sounds like a play on words to me, maybe referring to the the screens in formation that we saw in the Mirrorball video. Displays in formation, people. Formation displays. Not to mention flyover, which again sounds like military imagery. You know, like Air Force planes doing a flyover as part of a surveillance operation. But that lyric in its entirety, formation displays of affection flyover, what could that actually mean? Well, I think it could mean in metaphorical terms. The lead character in this narrative, Alex maybe, having these flashbacks of past moments of affection with past lovers flying through his mind. And when you link this to that James Bond villain type cinematic imagery, I can sort of imagine him stood in front of these sort of rows of screens, viewing all of these different past films of old memories of past relationships. And maybe he's unsure what reality he actually wants to live in. Let's revisit that lyric. Freaky keypad by the retina scan, and I've got good reason to believe I ain't quite where I think I am. Let's for a second speculate that this main character, Alex maybe, has woken up in this strange lab and he's not quite where he thinks he is. Again, with that cinematic theme, this immediately reminds me of that 1967 film, The Prisoner, where the lead character essentially wakes up as a prisoner on an island and nothing makes sense. Or the 2010 film, Shutter Island, in which the lead character, Leonardo DiCaprio, investigates some strange goings-on in a prison, but as the film goes on, he starts to question his own sanity. For me, the lyrics definitely reflect this theme around questioning your own mind, your own sanity, and maybe your own reality also. Or to put it simply, somebody who feels lost, either physically or in their own mind. Later on in the song, Alex then sings, "Disco strobes in the stumbling blocks. Wait, there's the other island now." Now, those two lines kind of remind me of the song 1 Point Perspective off the last album, in which, in the song itself, Alex interrupts himself, admitting that he's lost his train of thought. He's thinking about something else, like thinking about the other island when he's on the other. He also sings in this song about the Riviera coming into land, almost like he's on a boat on the French Riviera and the coast of the island is now coming into view. Worth mentioning here that the ocean, or maybe the Riviera itself that Alex is talking about in this song, is the artwork for the song Mirrorball, even though it only appears for a split second in that video towards the end. So he mentions this other island multiple times in the song I Ain't Quite Where I Think I Am. So what is this other island exactly? Well, the two islands could be two different versions of himself maybe, or two possible lives if he'd made different choices, or maybe it's even the two realities that would coexist for him in real life. One being in a famous global band like the Arctic Monkeys, not too dissimilar to being a main character in a film, only in his case the narrative is owned by the media and the band's fans, and the other being his personal life. And maybe sometimes these two islands cross over or overlap, and for him it's difficult to tell one from the other. Or maybe the other island is a place for him where everything makes sense, unlike the island he's currently on. Now, let's revisit again that lyric, "Formation displays of affection fly over. There's the other island now." Now, this could also be touching on a memory, a happy memory, one of affection, as the lyrics would suggest. Maybe from a past relationship. The two islands maybe could be the present and the past. Just my interpretation, but make sure you guys leave a comment down below with yours. But this song definitely does continue with this theme of wanting to be somewhere else. For example, he's at a party but the people are stackable, they're interchangeable. In other words, it doesn't matter who they are. In the bridge of this song as well, he talks about looking at things from his own vantage point, recognizing that there are different points of view on a situation. Again, think back to the Mirrorball video and the formations of displays and the different ways in which you can view the same thing. Maybe this character knows what they want to happen, but maybe there are mismatched expectations between him and this other person. Could the different vantage points Alex talks about here in fact be the different scenes that you see playing out in this formation of displays? Maybe he's had a realization that he's not on the same page as everybody else, and they're seeing it from a different point of view. Now, all of this seems plausible, but one question remains for me. What is the significance of the Mirrorball? I've not really worked that one out, to be honest, but for me the only thing I can think of is that it's a metaphor for something else. For one, calling it a Mirrorball in the song and not a disco ball sounds pretty intentional to me. I mean, Mirrorball defo isn't the preferred term for it. So why have they called it a Mirrorball? Well, a Mirrorball reflects light, and considering what we've just discussed, the album seems very reflective to me. very retrospective, looking back at past memories. And maybe the scattered light represents fragments of memories. Only time will tell, really. These certainly are strange lyrics, I'll give him that. And ones that, without context, frankly, make no sense to me. But hopefully with this interpretation that I've tried to make, some of this is now starting to make sense to you, or at least giving you some things to think about. And at the very least, hopefully it's also getting you hyped for the new album. I do feel as though the band put a lot of effort into these little details. Just take the music video for Mirrorball. There's so much going on there, and I bet most of it is intentional. So in a world where everybody just has such short attention spans and is glued to TikTok and can't concentrate on anything for more than 10 seconds, I hope that this video is giving you something to think about. Again, this is just my interpretation of the lyrics and the music video and some of the themes that we've heard so far, but I hope you've enjoyed the breakdown. If you did, make sure you hit like on this video, and let me know if any of this resonates with you down below, and share your thoughts on what you think this new album is going to be about. Let me know in the comments below. So that brings us to the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Click subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you in the next one.